let's ignore that terrible excuse for an intro. Anyway, as you probably found out from the title, I am painting milk boxes today. That was a bad idea. Just spoiler alert, bad idea. Well, the first step to painting milk boxes was obviously to prepare them to be painted. So that's what I was doing here, taking the caps off and ripping off the tops of milk boxes. How nice. Like, just literally ripping them off. I didn't actually realize how fragile milk boxes were until today. They're actually quite easy to rip up. And no, I'm not sponsoring any brand, and that was not my intention anywhere at all. I don't know how to cover them up. Making them all blurry is just very blurry, just generally speaking. The way to prepare it then was sanding it down, then gessoing it, obviously cutting off the edges to make it flat. I also forgot to dry this box from the inside, so it was wet. That's nice. Taping up the top hole so there's not a random hole in my box with paper tape, so then I can go over it with gesso. Then a couple of layers of gesso, because paint boxes don't whiten up easily, and you need a white surface to paint on. Come on. It looks really smooth on the camera, but God, in real life,
1 hour later.
and a lot of mess later. I'm not even sure what this stuff is. Anyway, I did get 8 white milk boxes, and mind you, these were not easy to gather. It took me 3 weeks to gather 8 milk boxes. And it took me I honestly felt like it took me even longer to paint them all white. I was literally just painting milk boxes white for a whole hour. And then it was looking like this, like an intimidating white tower. Milk boxes can be intimidating. Anyway, I wanted to do a test run first before I kind of jumped into my actual idea. You'll see what that was in a bit. Oh God. Anyway, I decided the first step was obviously to paint. Okay, I'm mixing this up. The point was to paint it. And at first they were deceiving me. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually going really well. Everything's turning out fine. The surface is nice and smooth. I can do everything easily. Boy, was that wrong. Oh God. As soon as I started doing the ocean part, I realized a big problem. I have the habit of kind of going over the same area multiple times just to get the right texture, the right color. The problem with the box was that the surface wasn't absorbent at all. Like, there's no absorbingness. That's not a word. At all. So there was no way I could go over the same thing over and over unless the thing had completely dried. Acrylic paint dries fast, but not so fast that 2 seconds later it's dry. So I had to make multiple rounds to the hairdryer over and over again. To you guys, this looks like a really seamless, nice, fun process. To me, this is a pain. I'm really rethinking this. Like, what was wrong with... Why did I decide to paint on milk boxes? Okay, I know why I decided to paint on milk boxes, basically. There was one day I was thinking about how the environment and everything is harmed, and how artists really harm it because of, like, you know, paper, and we waste a lot of paper because of art block and all that. And then, obviously, there's a lot of trees going to waste, and I was thinking, what about some renewable canvas of some sort? Obviously, my amazing, amazing mind thought of milk boxes. I am really, really questioning what was wrong with me. I literally put myself through 3 days of torture almost. This didn't take me 3 days, it took me about a day, but you know, there's more that I did. I didn't just paint one milk box. But still, it was so difficult. The palm trees were so difficult. Honestly, everything was so odd. The texture was off. The only thing that actually went well in this painting, in my opinion, was the sky. And you can barely see the sky. Honestly, it was fun though. I did enjoy the new process, but I hated it as well. I'm not sure. I did enjoy it, but I also hated it. I'm not sure which one was more. Probably the hate. Most probably, yeah. There were times when I was really rethinking my life and my thoughts. Anyway, this is what it turned out like. I didn't bother with the sides because, like, there was no point. I wasn't gonna do anything with it. It was just a test run. I don't know what. Anyway, it's time to bring in the other 8 boxes that I'm doing the wrong math. The other 7 boxes that I had left. Ay, 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 ay. That is all I'm going to say. Yeah, so this was my grand idea. Glue boxes together to make them a canvas and then use the canvas. You can do the double-sided, so like those thick canvases. But this was a dumb idea. If you decide to try this, I'm going to warn you. Don't do this. Don't put yourself through God knows how much time. I don't even remember how much time this. When I sat down to edit this video, it was 2 hours long. But I did work off camera. And then I also spent a lot of time waiting for it to dry, which was actually very, very, very long. Like, surprisingly long. The whole process was just I'm not even sure what to say. This whole gluing was crazy too. The thing just didn't want to stick. And this is in real time, so I was literally just sitting there holding it together, staring at the boxes like, get stuck boxes. Guess what? It didn't work.
One eternity
And about,
later.
I don't even know how long later. Finally, I have something to paint on. But then, obviously, the gesso that I had put before wasn't enough. And there was these really weird black grooves in the middle that where I joined things together. Also, I ended up having to use the glue gun, just telling you, to kind of get it stuck together. And also, just spoiler, the lines didn't go away. No matter how much paint I put, the lines just, honestly, after I painted it, they just showed more. I probably used more paint to cover these 6 boxes. Not even 6 boxes, I didn't cover the back side. So like, about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 no, there were 6 sides at the back. So about 3 boxes I didn't cover, approximately. Thinking of surface area. But, I mean, I probably spent more paint in the past 4 days than I have in the past 4 months. I'm not even joking. This box of sea green teal paint that you see there, I almost finished half of it. My blue tube of light blue sky blue paint, I've almost finished that off. My phthalo blue was half gone. And my white was just almost dead. I mean, my white is almost always dead anyway. White is the one color that I use most. But, you know, just... Also, my gray and black were dead too, so that's nice. I feel like I forgot to speed this up. See, I'm so smart. Anyway, I had to go over the entire sea with a second layer of paint. I'm telling you, I've spent a whole lot of paint just painting boxes. I did not expect it to be this paint-y. That is not a word. But you know, I had to spend so much paint. That is about all I'm going to say. It was with a good intention though, you know, saving the environment, but I really wish my brain had not thought of this. This is in real time. So you can just tell, see, you can see how scratchy it is. If you kind of, don't zoom in, but then you'll see how scratchy it is, but you can get the idea. I couldn't paint properly. I see why nobody else has done this yet. I really see that now. Anyway, I just repeated that process over and over again and over again and kept doing that until I filled up the whole sea with random waves. This milk boxing really reminds me of those thick edge canvases. I've never actually used one of those before. I have one, but I never used it. So I was just like, I felt really cool. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm using a thick edge canvas. No. I'm acting like a toddler, but no. I'm never ever doing this again. I mean, if you want to try it, by all means, go ahead. I'm not stopping you from that. But just don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Just... Anyway, here's the final thing. Yes, it's a bit of a different filming location because obviously the thing was pretty big. You couldn't see the whole thing. The only thing you could see were the really big grooves down the center. I mean, why did I not expect those to be there? Honestly, this small one looked better than the big one, which is saying something because I was complaining the whole way. But honestly, I'm not sure what to say. I'm happy with how the painting turned out, even though it does look better in the other direction. But since I can't exactly do that to the whole YouTube screen, I can just tilt my camera. I'm happy with how the overall painting looks. The sea actually looks really magical. I really like that. It's just the milk box bothered me a lot. And don't say you weren't warned if you try this. If you do try this, tell me. Send me a picture. I want to know if anyone had any better luck with this than I did. This is actually not a bad idea. The idea was really great. It's just that my execution and that stuff, that wasn't how I'd like it to have been. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this week's video.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Bye.